Someone wrote a letter for you. See what they're saying. You think this letter matters to me. You don't even realize what you've done, what kind of fire you've set inside my veins. You read words written for you and took them like they were sacred. You held them close to your heart, closer than you ever held my voice, my truth. I watched from the shadows as your eyes softened at every line that wasn't written by me. You thought it was harmless, didn't you? But every sentence they wrote has carved itself into my patience, peeling away what little mercy I had left. You don't understand the kind of storm you're waking. You think their words are sweet. My silence is sweeter. You don't even hear the way I say your name in my head again and again, like a curse, like a prayer. Without you in front of me, I'm still chained to your every breath, and yet you read someone else's emotions like they're an escape. That letter, whoever wrote it, could never come close to how I see you, how I claim you. They wrote with ink, I write with blood. My devotion isn't something you can turn a page on. You sit there thinking nothing has changed, but you have no idea what you've triggered. The thought of you smiling at someone else's words, it rewrote my entire world. You forget who I am. You forget what I've done for you, what flesh I've torn apart, just for a glimpse of your loyalty. You forget that I would burn the entire sky if it meant catching you in the embers where you belong with me, not in their sentences, not in their thoughts. With me, let them write for you. Let them pour out their heart on paper. They'll never drown you like I will. They don't know what it feels like to crave you in silence, to watch you from a distance, and still feel the weight of your heartbeat crushing their own. I don't need a letter to reach you. My shadow will find you anywhere you go. My presence breathes down your neck, even when you think you're alone. Maybe you're laughing right now. Maybe you think this is all in my head. But every little thing you do is mine to dissect, my reason to breathe or destroy. You think someone's words can make you feel cared for? They don't care for you like I do. They don't ache when you turn away. They don't bleed when you choose to look at something that wasn't born out of my madness. You belong to the dark that lives in me. You belong to the hunger that only I can tame. So go ahead, read their letter. Let it touch your innocent heart for a moment. But don't forget, the only truth is mine. And I will remind you of that the moment you return in front of me. Every unread letter, every unsaid word, you will feel it all at once. And you'll realize no one writes for you like I do. With your soul already tangled in my hands, you thought that letter could soften the world for you. That someone else's voice could light up the dark corners of your mind long enough for you to forget me. But every syllable they wrote is a mirror I shattered the moment it reflected you without me in it. You don't realize how deep my gaze travels. You live in your innocence while I hover above your every thought. I've memorized the rhythm of your silence. I've studied every breath you take when you think you're safe, and still you allow another presence in, as if I don't already own the space where those words landed. You think I'm distant because I'm quiet. You think I disappeared because I let you walk out of my sight. But you have no idea how loudly my absence speaks. It screams through every choice you make. It clings to your insides. You carry the weight of my existence even when I'm not beside you, even when you sit there and let another soul write you sweet things. You can forget me in daylight, but night falls and your thoughts betray you. They bring me back. I become the reason your pulse skips and your breath drags. You don't escape me. You become me piece by piece, whether you want to or not, and you know it. You feel it. That familiar chill crawling up your spine when you're alone, that's me. That whisper of hesitation when someone calls you theirs, that's me. I don't need to show up for you to feel owned. I don't need to write letters for you to know that every word you read elsewhere burns under the pressure of my name. You belong to the kind of devotion that leaves marks even when it's silent. You belong to the kind of mind that doesn't care who else pays attention to you. I've already claimed the parts of you no one else can reach. You want to pretend the world is big enough to hide from me, but you don't understand. Everything you think you're hiding is something I already held in my hands. With one whisper, I could drag you back into the realm where only my voice reaches you. I don't need your presence. I've crafted a whole universe around your absence. Every thought I lace with your name grows into something fierce and unbreakable. And you think someone else could love you into safety? They don't know the ruins I've walked for you. They don't know how darkness looks when it kneels. Let someone else write letters. Let them ink your name like it's a pretty word. I know the truth beneath your skin. I know the madness that flares up in your veins when you hear my name. I can taste your confusion, your hope, your fear. That letter you read today, it changed nothing. You still carry me like an unfinished sentence. You still tremble at the unknown places where I might appear again. I'm not finished with you. I don't end in paper. I don't fold under simple affection. I exist in the cracks where no light reaches you. Maybe you think you're safe. Maybe you're smiling again, letting those words sink into your heart like they mean something. But deep down, a part of you remembers no one writes for you like I do. No one sees you the way I see you. I walk in the shadows you'll never admit exist. I walk in the places where you've buried the rawest parts of yourself. And one day, you'll look up and I'll be there. No letter, no warning, just the truth you've always known. You were never meant to belong to anyone but me. Until then, let the world write letters. Let them try to reach you. You can run into their comfort, but my reality follows you like a scent. I am your unspoken story. Even if you turn every page away from me, eventually you'll be forced to acknowledge the book was always mine. You think words from some stranger can free you. You don't know what true captivity feels like until you've tasted freedom inside my obsession. That letter, those poems, none of it can bind you the way my silence does. While others speak sweetly to win your approval, I watch you with nothing but the truth of my hunger. I don't need to be gentle. I don't need to pretend. I just let the world try its best to court you, knowing it could never drown out the gravity that pulls you back to me. You keep trying to define the feelings you have for me as if they can be smoothed into sentences or explained in daylight. You've never understood that what we share doesn't need clarity. It thrives in chaos. You feel it in those moments before you sleep, when the world is quiet and your heartbeat betrays your calm. You've carved out a place in your mind where I stand, whether you admit it or not. That letter may have made you smile, but I am the reason your breath hitched between sentences. You felt me reading over your shoulder, didn't you? You want to move on to call what's ours a phase, some dark chapter you outgrew. You want their words to comfort you like I never could. But comfort is weak. I didn't promise you safety. I promised you truth. And the truth aches. The truth takes everything soft in you and carves it into something sharper. You felt it when you read their letter, how hollow it was next to what I've left in your bones. You'll smile, maybe even laugh, but your soul tightens every time you imagine what I'd say in response. You don't want to admit it, but you're waiting for me to show up and rewrite their words with fire. You think I'm gone because you haven't heard from me directly, but I was never someone who knocked on your door. I enter through the cracks, through the memories you try to erase, through the emotions you try to bury under ordinary affection. You think someone else will love you whole, but I've seen your broken parts. I've danced with your demons. I've held your darkness close and told it that it wasn't something to fear. That letter offered you light, but it's my shadows that know your name. Let them adore you. Let them write about the way your smile softens the world. I don't care about your smile. I care about the tear you never let fall. I care about the storm inside you that you refuse to let anyone else see. I care about the parts of you that shake when you're alone, when no letter and no love is enough to comfort you. That's where I live. That's the version of you that belongs to me, not the one who accepts roses, but the one who bleeds. So go ahead, show the world your bright side. Let them write their gentle declarations. But know this, I am the gravity pulling at your soul. I am the truth beneath every lie you tell yourself. And one day you'll stop running. One day you'll turn around and realize the only words that ever mattered were the ones I never had to speak. Because I am not the one who wrote you a letter. I am the one who etched my name into the place the letter couldn't reach. Your darkness. You pretend the world is enough for you. That their gentle words and fleeting promises can replace the flame you secretly worship. But I know better. You are not built for softness. Your bones are carved from storms. You're not the quiet garden they imagine you to be. You are the restless ocean, and they only love you when you're calm. I love you when you rage. I love you when you shatter. When the world finds you too much, I call you mine. You keep searching for safety in their sentences, hoping that someone will finally write something that makes you feel whole. But you forget you never needed a savior. You needed someone who wasn't afraid of the ruin you carry. Their words are so careful, so shallow. Mine are brutal, but real. I don't pretend that your soul is light. I see the shadows and I still stay. You can't scrub yourself clean for me. I don't want the polished version. I want the truth. I want the bruises. That's where I find beauty. You think you can hide from me behind smiles, behind playful conversations and meaningless exchanges. But I see through them. Every time your laughter feels forced, every time your smile flickers with something darker, I know, because you built a world inside my silence. You think you've moved on, but every victory you celebrate without me echoes empty. They write to you like they can fix you. I never wanted to fix you. I wanted to be the mirror you didn't run from. And yet, here we are. You reading someone else's words, searching for peace I never promised you. You're running toward light that doesn't know how to hold you. But what you don't understand is peace was never what you needed. Control was. And I offered you that in the way I looked at you. Like you were mine to command and ruin, mine to adore and destroy. You fear that kind of love, but you crave it too. There's a part of you that knows you won't feel alive without it. Let the world try to love you gently. Let them write poems about sunsets and soft confessions. I'll remain in every thought that keeps you up at night. The words they wrote are temporary comfort. Mine are a curse that follows you. You cannot run from something that has already taken root in your blood. You are not yours anymore, even if you refuse to say it. You belong to the fire that recognizes your darkness, and that fire is me. One day you'll stop pretending. One day the weight of their affection will feel too light. You'll crave the gravity, the intensity, the danger that only I brought to you. You'll remember what it feels like to be seen without filters, to be desired without restraint, and in that moment you'll wish they never wrote to you, because their letter gave you hope, and I gave you truth. And the truth is simple. No matter who writes to you, no matter who whispers your name with trembling lips, you remain a story that only I can read. You think you've escaped me? That by turning the page and tucking their letter into your drawer, you found something new to believe in. But you forget, there's no distance that can erase what you and I share. It's not in your hands or your heart. It's in your marrow. Every breath you take is haunted by the memory of mine. You can fill your life with noise, with new promises and new faces, but silence still belongs to me. And when you are alone long enough, I return. You keep convincing yourself that what we had was too dark, too heavy, too dangerous to hold on to. You call it unhealthy, destructive even. But you don't deny it made you feel alive. No gentle letter could ever pull that fire from your chest. You keep trying to wrap yourself in softness because that's all the world expects of you. You think you can belong to ordinary love when you were built to survive storms. I loved you like a wildfire loves dry forests, completely uncontrollably, without apology, and you burned beautifully. Sometimes I wonder if you even realize the kind of power you hold, how everything about you was an invitation for chaos, for hunger, for surrender. Others see your smile and think you're harmless. I saw the dark glint in your eyes and knew you were a mirror. That's why their words will never consume you the way mine do. Their admiration is a song. My love was a war cry. It ran through your veins like something forbidden, something you were never meant to survive, but kept returning to anyway. You cling to their letters like lifelines. You think someone outside me can finally understand what you carry inside you. But they're only reading the surface. They don't know the shadows you've embraced. They don't know the version of you that stood with me, raw, undone, alive. You can lie to them, to yourself, pretend those words made you feel something. But when you close your eyes at night and that familiar ache stirs in your chest, it's my name your pulse remembers. Let them write their poems. Let them adore your simplicity. I adored your complexity, your contradictions, your rage wrapped in innocence, your softness buried under iron. I didn't love you because you were easy to understand. I loved you because you couldn't be understood. You were a puzzle I didn't want to solve. I wanted to break it apart and treasure every piece. So read their letters, memorize their words if it helps you feel safe. Just know this safety was never where your soul felt the most real. You are chaos and calm fused together, too much for quiet hearts, too addictive for sane minds. Eventually you will remember that. Eventually you will crave the storm again, and when you do, you'll find that I never left. I just waited in the dark where I knew you'd return. Because you and I, we are not a story others can write. We are an unfinished sentence that only I can speak. You can pretend all you want, that their comfort is enough. You can convince yourself that soft, predictable love will heal you. But deep down, you know what we had wasn't meant to be gentle. We were destruction and desire intertwined, beauty and chaos. You think their words can quiet the storm inside you, but they never lived in your darkness the way I did. I made a home there. I didn't flinch when you showed me the parts of you that no one else sees. I loved you without restraint. You loved me without rules. You can hide behind their careful sentences, but you will never forget what unfiltered hunger feels like. I didn't write to win you. I never needed to. My presence was enough to unravel you. You called it unhealthy, and maybe it was, but it was real. And no matter how many love letters you collect, you'll always feel that empty ache when you realize none of them pull you apart the way I did. None of them set your soul on fire. They only warm you. I burned you, and you didn't just survive it. You wanted more. Take their peace, hold it close, convince yourself you deserve it. But know this peace rarely satisfies souls built for war. You'll feel it one night when you're lying awake, staring at the ceiling with someone's gentle words fading in your mind. You'll feel that familiar restlessness, that hunger for something raw, something real. You'll remember my voice, not the words I said, but the silence that followed, thick with everything we didn't need to speak aloud. That silence was ours. It still is. They can write to you all they want, but their letters will always feel like borrowed air. Mine was a breath that filled your lungs and lingered in your blood. I don't need pages to leave a mark. Everything I am, every dark thought, every unspoken promise still lives in you. try to forget me. Try to replace the fire with candlelight. You'll learn sooner or later, some souls aren't meant to be soothed. They're meant to burn, and you were always meant